You're going to have a great industry, and we're going to be fuel for your industry, not demolish your industry. America will once again be a nation that protects property rights, privacy, freedom of transaction, freedom of association, and freedom of speech. We're going to go back to the old days when we were a nation that was building, not a nation that was eating itself alive from within. As part of our effort to provide regulatory clarity, we will create a framework to enable the safe and responsible expansion of stable coins. Do you know what a stable coin is? Does anybody know? Please raise your hand. Allowing us to extend the dominance of the U.S. dollar to new frontiers all around the world. America will be richer, the world will be better, and there will be billions and billions of people brought into crypto economy and storing their savings in Bitcoin. So that's pretty much the way it is. Those who say that Bitcoin is a threat to the dollar have the story exactly backwards. I believe it is exactly backwards. Bitcoin is not threatening the dollar. The behavior of the current U.S. government is really threatening the dollar. The danger to our financial future does not come from crypto. It comes from Washington, D.C. It comes from trillions of dollars in waste, rampant inflation, and open borders while giving welfare and free health care to all of the illegal aliens that are pouring into our country by the millions and millions and millions. It comes from printing hundreds of billions of dollars to fund endless wars overseas while our cities are like combat zones here at home. 2 weeks ago in Chicago, 117 people were shot and 17 died. Afghanistan doesn't have anything like that. You know, you think about tough places. Look at what's happening with our cities. What's happening in the last 3 years, last 3.5 years. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Think of it, 117 over 4th of July weekend. 117 people were shot and 17 died. This is the United States of America? I don't think so. By the way, when I was president, we had no wars. We had no new wars. We didn't start any. Remember when Hillary said, he'll start wars. Look at his personality. No, I said, my personality will keep us out of wars. But we finished off some of the old ones like ISIS, which they said would take 5 years to do, maybe more. We did it in 4 weeks. We beat ISIS in 4, because we have a great military. And it's not a woke military, by the way. Maybe some of the people on top are woke, but this is not a woke. I got to see that first when I looked at what they did and what they did for me. They were unbelievable. They did things that nobody thought were possible. Our real generals and our soldiers, there's no woke. They're trying to get them to be woke, but these people are not going to go woke, I can guarantee you that. With your support this November, we will restore confidence and we will restore common sense to our nation's capital. Because ultimately, it is about, it's not, are you conservative? Are you liberal? Are you progressive? They like progressive. It sounds so nice, right? It'll destroy our country. It's actually become a terrible word. It'll destroy our country. But it's not about that. It's about common sense. We want to bring common sense back in. This is all common sense that we're talking about today. And Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, even beyond your expectations. And you are the people that are doing it. As we stop the war on crypto, we will immediately, and we'll do this very quickly, begin to build our economy, because when America is prospering, Bitcoin is soaring and it'll go up with it. We had the greatest economy ever, and we will soon have it again. Under the Trump administration, the typical middle-class family income rose by $6,000 a year. People don't like mentioning that. America had more money to save than at any time in many decades. As a result, during my 4 years in office, now you have to listen to these numbers. These numbers are like beautiful. And I don't want to repeat myself. Listen to these numbers. As a result, during my 4 years in office, Bitcoin surged by 3,900%, from $898 the day I took office to $35,900 the day I left. That was the biggest jump, I guess, in just about any industry. Think of that. Now compare that to just after 3.5 years of Biden and Harris, adjusted for inflation, Bitcoin is up 50%. Now 50% sounds good, but not when you're comparing it to almost 4,000%, right? 50%. You know, normally you say, oh, that sounds pretty good. Let's not put that into the speech. No, 50% is not good. When people can't afford groceries or rent, they have no savings to store in Bitcoin. This administration caused the biggest inflation in the history of our country, and that's what's happened. Our people are being wiped out. From the very first day we take back the White House, we will replace the Biden-Harris economic stagnation with a brand new Trump economic boom. You're going to have a tremendous boom. You know, you have a lot of great analysts out there. Scott, I'm talking about you, Scott, one of the greatest of all, and others that say the stock market's going up because they think Trump is going to be elected. And if Trump isn't elected, this country's going to go into a depression the likes of what you had in 1929. And I hope that's not true, but I can understand it, and I can understand what they're saying. The stock market gain, they think, is because it looks like we're going to win the election. And I don't know what's going to happen with the election. You know, they cheat like hell, and I don't know what's going to happen. But if we win it, this country is going to be boomtown. It's going to be booming like it never boomed before. The current administration's economic plan includes trillions in new spending and $5 trillion tax hikes. They want to increase taxes by $5 trillion. They want the expiration of the Trump tax cuts to take place. They want a wealth confiscation tax so that when you make all of your money that you're going to make and all of the people you're going to employ, they want to take away your money in the form of a first-time ever tax and a gigantic capital gains tax that will exceed substantially in many states over 50%. My plan is the opposite. We will lift the workers, and we will create savers out of so many people, and we will reward success. We will not punish success. They want to punish success. They want to punish genius. I'm not going to let that happen. I will make the Trump tax cuts permanent and deliver massive tax cuts for families and individuals and businesses that produce jobs. That includes no tax on tips. You know that, right? Going to get rid of the tax on tips. I will cut unnecessary and burdensome regulations, fight every day to make America the best place on earth to build a business, including a crypto business. It's going to be the best place. You're not going to have to go to China. You're not going to have to learn, gee, how do I learn Chinese? I want to learn it very quickly. I have a little granddaughter that speaks fluent Chinese. Can you believe it? And it's a wonderful thing, but it's not easy, but you're not going to have to do it. Most importantly, for our citizens, we will end the inflation nightmare that this administration has created, and we will end it quickly. It's got to end. It's destroying our country. You know, inflation is a country buster. You can go back many, many years to Germany, and you look at what happened to Germany during their huge period of inflation, destroyed the country. It's a country buster. The Bitcoiners, and I say to you that you recognize the dangers of inflation long before most others did. You understood inflation, frankly, better than anybody else. You know that, don't you? If only they had listened. They didn't listen to you. They didn't listen to you. The trillions of dollars in ridiculous waste approved by our opponents resulted in the very inflation disaster that Bitcoiners had always predicted. 20, 30, and even 40% of the value of every dollar was wiped out, and wiped out quickly. You understood that, but a lot of other people didn't. The life savings of millions of Americans was rapidly destroyed. And very simply, uncontrolled inflation is a stealth taxation of the middle class. It really is. It's a stealth taxation. I call it the Biden tax. Now I'll call it the Harris tax, or the Harris-Biden tax, or whatever the hell we're going to call them. But it's a disaster. It's a tax of 50%. It's a 50% tax. Inflation, think of it, it's a 50% tax on people, 50. This is a human tragedy, and it's destroyed people. It's a national disgrace. It's destroyed everything in its way. It must never be allowed to happen again, and it won't. When I'm president, I guarantee you it won't happen, because we're going to do things that make sure it doesn't happen. They've allowed pricing to get totally out of control. We're going to do energy, bring it down to levels that people have not seen in many, many years. We had it at levels. We were at $1.87 for a gallon of gasoline. You don't see that right now. For 4 straight years, under my leadership, we had effectively no inflation, none. When I left office, it was 1.4%, and then it stayed there for almost 2 years. Remember when Biden said it was 9? I inherited 9%. That was just another lie. Misinformation, disinformation. We gave them a hot country. We went through the COVID. We did an incredible job. Never got credit for that. Always got credit for the economy, for the military. We rebuilt the military. We created Space Force. We did so many different things. Never got credit for that. You know what? We gave them a great country with essentially no inflation. And after 2 years, they drove this country, and they drove inflation through the roof. 2 years, cost of living went up, in some cases, by over 50%. They say 22%. They like to say 22, but it could be much higher, and it is much higher depending on what they include. They don't include things like interest rates that went from 2.5% to 10%, but you can't get the money. When I return to the White House, I will stop the wild and wasteful spending of this administration. I will end the endless wars. They never stop. Again, we had no wars. We had no new wars under your favorite president, President Trump. We had no new wars. They thought I was going to start a war. Let me tell you something. I'm going to stop World War III, because we're closer to World War III than we've ever been since the end of World War II. I will seal the border and stop the invasion of millions of people pouring into our country illegally. We will totally defeat, and we will do this quickly. We will defeat inflation, and together we will bring back the American dream for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. We will bring it back, the American dream. You don't even hear the statement American dream anymore. You don't hear those words anymore. We used to talk about the American dream. A lot of you people are in the American dream, but you're going to be crushed if you don't elect me. I hate to tell you. You don't elect me, you're going to be crushed. You're going to say, Alice, what a mistake it was. We went for a person who has no talent. She's been a failure at almost everything she's done instead of Trump. And look at us now. We're going to move into an extremely small house from our beautiful house. But we will end the war on American energy, and we will very simply drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We have to. It's what we have. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation in the world, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia. We don't use it. We don't use it. They use it. We don't use it. We go out and buy oil from Venezuela. It's amazing. But we won't stop there. We will harness American energy in all forms. I have set the ambitious goal that by the end of my term, the United States will be the #1 lowest cost of energy and electricity of any nation on earth. We can make it so inexpensively. Because of what we have under our feet, we can make it so inexpensively. And with low energy costs, America will become the world's undisputed Bitcoin mining powerhouse. You'll be a Bitcoin mining powerhouse. You will not have to move your family to China. You will not be moving to China. As we implement these reforms, Bitcoin and crypto will grow our economy, cement American financial dominance, and strengthen our entire country long into the future. Many Americans do not realize that the United States government is among the largest holders of Bitcoin. Does anyone know that? How about that? The federal government is almost 210,000 Bitcoin, or 1% of the total supply that will ever exist. But for too long, our government has violated the cardinal rule that every Bitcoiner knows by heart. Never sell your Bitcoin, right? That's right, isn't it, huh? That's right. How did I figure that one? Never sell your Bitcoin. And so, as the final part of my plan today, I am announcing that if I am elected, it will be the policy of my administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires into the future. We'll keep 100%. I hope you do well, please. This will serve in effect as the core of the strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. As you know, most of the Bitcoin currently held by the United States government was obtained through law enforcement action. You know that. They took it from you. Let's take that guy's life. Let's take his family, his house, his Bitcoin. We'll turn it into Bitcoin. It's been taken away from you because that's where we're going now. That's where this country is going. It's a fascist regime. And so as I take steps to transform that vast wealth into a permanent national asset to benefit all Americans, today I repeat my pledge to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. It's enough. It's enough. That's where we are as a country. Ultimately, my promise to each and every one of you is this: I will be the pro-innovation and pro-Bitcoin president that America needs and our citizens deserve. This will be one industry, but this will be a thriving industry, a great industry, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for every other industry also. Our nation has never thrived by trying to censor new ideas and shut down the dreams of our people. America always plants our flag on the next frontier and pushes boldly ahead. We have to do that. We haven't been doing that for a long time, especially the last 3.5 years. It's gone the exact opposite. Those of you in this room inherit the legacy of generations of American pioneers and patriots, risk-takers and renegades who settled this continent, built the modern world, and lived on the bleeding edge. You live on a bleeding edge. You do know that, Bitcoiners, don't you? You are the modern-day Edisons and Wright brothers and Carnegies and Henry Fords, and what you do in your lifetime stands a chance to outlive us all and inspire humanity for generations to come. This will go down as a very important day in the history of your industry. Together, you are building America's future with your own smarts, your own grit, and your own skin in the game. You have a lot of skin in the game, and that's what you're doing. It takes courage to do it. Most people don't have that courage. My job will be to set you free and to let you do what Americans do best and what you're going to do better than anybody. Win, win, win. You're going to win, win, win. With energy, passion, and brilliance like we have rarely seen before, our country cannot fail. We're in a failing nation right now, but we're not going to be for long. Our country cannot fail. With your help, we will save our nation, we will restore our republic, and we will make America and Bitcoin bigger, better, stronger, richer, freer, and greater than ever before. Thank you all. Have a good time with your Bitcoin and your crypto and everything else that you're playing with. And we're going to make that one of the greatest industries on earth. Good luck and God bless you all. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you.
All right. The former president there, Donald Trump, wrapping up in Nashville, speaking for about a little less than 50 minutes right there, as he is now going to travel from Nashville.
Well, I mean, that was actually a very strong speech from Trump, man. I don't know how people can not like Trump after this, really. I think it was really a well-informed speech, and he actually knew where exactly to hit. I mean, he was even talking about stuff like the United States government has been violating the most important rule in Bitcoin, which is never sell your Bitcoin. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. The guy has got great political instincts, in my humble opinion, and I think he hit the exact points right there. So, I mean, I'm going to be waiting for you guys to start sharing me what you want to be talking about here. We are going to be taking a look at the rest of the market and trying to see where the market has gone to, and how the market is actually reflecting this news that we were seeing here with Donald Trump addressing a Bitcoin conference 2024 in Nashville. And I think it was just a fantastic one, right? I mean, the speech itself was short. It was straight to the point. Obviously, he had to put in some other things, talk about a little bit of Kamala, whatever the thing is. But I think that generally it was a very strong push here. I think people will be happy with this one. I liked it the most when he said he's going to fire Gary Gensler. And I mean, it really means a lot for this industry. He is in touch with the people. It was really a strong speech. I liked it. I mean, politically, I'm not involved in the United States of America, but I think that we really need leaders like this. I mean, right at this point, do we still have to be, going around and telling everybody that Bitcoin is for scammers and stuff like that? I don't think it's necessary. I think he did well. And the markets actually remained a little bit neutral. We are seeing Bitcoin right at this point is around, 67,000. I think it's good. The highest that we got to today was as high as something close to 69,000. 67,000 is not bad at all. I thought the market would actually dump harder once he started speaking, but I think his message was really on point, and you cannot argue about to say, okay, let's say that the market is going to get bearish in the immediate short term. Well, still, what he laid out right there, that the United States of America, if he is president anyway, is not going to be selling any BTC that they hold. And fundamentally speaking, he hit the right points right on time, right? So let's quickly take a look at what you want us to take a look at, because I gotta go off and make a Jasmy update. We are going to be talking about Jasmy. We're going to be talking about Casper, and we're going to be making an ICP video maybe tomorrow or something like that. Yeah, but I know you guys have got some questions. Mad actually says this is good or bad. I think overall it's something that is very, very much great. And I think between now and the election, this other side obviously has to be pushed. They are now in a corner to go ahead and address the kind of thing that Trump has tackled here. They have, one way or the other, have to address the BTC question, because just as you said, I mean, there are 175 million people in the United States that are somehow involved in the crypto market, right? So how many of those 175 million, are actual voters? So it's a big issue, honestly. And the other side would have to be forced to do one thing or the other. Just as you mentioned right there, he was saying that the SEC has actually started dropping lawsuits, and it was a trend. It has been a trend, actually, especially the last month or so. We have seen like many of these lawsuits just being dropped for no reason. And the way he said that, okay, this is happening because they have realized that, I'm getting popular, so they don't want to be the bad guys, right? So between now and the election, I think we are safe. And should we also put like the Fed rate cuts potentially towards that time of the year? I think one way or the other, this is just great for crypto. Great messaging from Trump. I think, many people obviously have got different feelings with the guy. I personally don't have any. I think that the guy is a political genius. He understands the situation. And I also think that his team did a fantastic job informing him on what exactly to say to the crypto space. I mean, people like Vivek Ramaswamy and the other guys, but I think they did a fantastic job. So great on his side, and also great for crypto generally. He even at some point said that with the way that BTC is moving right at this point, there's actually a big likelihood that it can surpass gold. Now, if that thing really happens, man, this market is gonna go bananas right now. Not only are we just talking about Bitcoin right there, I mean, think about other markets like we're talking about Jasmy, right? Look at ICP, look at things like Casper, look at things like Chainlink, and Filecoin, all the other great stuff that we talk about on the channel. If BTC happens to exceed the gold market, man, we are poised for greatness. Yes, just a matter of time. I think it's coming. I will show you here where I expect the the Bitcoin price to go in the immediate short term, right? So once you have like consolidations like this one where you're going sideways, you usually have a strong push right there. And right at this point, I think that BTC has cleared like most of the Fibonacci retracement levels that it was supposed to clear way even before this conference began, right? But we still have got one that we are still fighting, the last one right around $69,500 there for BTC. Once we clear that one, probably heading into next week, I mean, it should, like, the Fed probably on Wednesday indicate that they're going to be dropping some interest rates anywhere between now and the end of the year, I think it's definitely going to be great as well. So initially I will be targeting anywhere between $84,000 to $86,000 for Bitcoin, and that should also be very much great for the rest of the market, because you know the deal. If BTC is good, the rest of the market is also going to be just fine. We are seeing here that the market is kind of anticipating some kind of a rate cut. Let me just go ahead and show you that here from the bets that we are seeing. The next FOMC meeting is right around 3 days, and the odds at that 94%, right, is that the Fed will keep the rates constant. They are not going to be changing anything. But once you start moving into September here, you can see the likelihood of a rate cut is beginning to increase. We are looking at something like 11.5%, right, as we are speaking right now. By the time we get to somewhere like November, you can see that there is a 60.5% that the rates are going to be, cut. That's great. That's really, really great news. What happens when we get to December? Right now, the projection is that there is actually 57% that there's going to be a rate cut. I think this is all bullish news for the Bitcoin market. And on top of that, you don't have to forget that there is going to be some injection of capital from the FTX money that is going to be coming. I think it was something like $16 billion. Yeah, $16 billion in terms of stable coins, right? That will just be flooding the market. That $16 billion is definitely going to be chasing some cryptos. I think, yeah, I'm very much excited here, and I'm also glad that Trump didn't go ahead and start talking about a whole bunch of different things instead of addressing what he was supposed to address. He really hit the nail on the head, and that's exactly what the community wanted to hear, in my humble opinion. I mean, today is not an opinion, honestly. It's really what happened. So that's great. Let me see if you guys have got anything that you want me to take a look at right now, because as I said, I want to go off and make a Jasmy video. I'm looking to get into a Jasmy trade right there. I will be updating Patreon members very soon, and we'll be actually talking about exactly where to take profits, exactly like what kind of a margin we need to use and stuff like that. But I'm really, really excited about what happened here. We are also seeing that the market is also holding strong. Usually when you've got event-based rallies like what we were having heading into this event, once the speaker speaks and it's over, you see the market crashing big, right? Yeah, BTC is dropping, but the altcoins are holding pretty well. Everything is looking great. All right, so William Latin. Right now I can't talk about Jasmy because I'm gonna go off and make a Jasmy video, right? But what I would say is that with Jasmy, we were seeing some very interesting things happening today. We were seeing that, look here, we have been talking big for the last 3 weeks or something like that, saying that, look, the only resistance that we have here with Jasmy is the 50 daily moving average. But you can see what Jasmy did here. It completely obliterated the 50 daily moving average. So that is definitely a great sign to indicate that, look, we are no longer being kept down by the bearish momentum. Obviously, we still have got some resistances to clear above, but the first one, we are done with it. The 50 daily moving average, which you are seeing here, has been obliterated with the Jasmy price. That is always and always a good sign for Jasmy. I won't tell you anything else, but still, you have to also remember that this daily candle hasn't closed just yet. So, it's maybe not yet, time to pop the champagne bottles, but still, this is definitely a great sign here from Jasmy. The other thing that I wanted to take a look at was what I want to talk about Casper a little bit. I know that a lot of people here don't like Casper too much, but I think it has a great it had a great potential here. We are looking at something like an 80% pump to the upside. So I will obviously be making videos. Yeah, nobody will be watching. That's okay. Still no big deal. I got Jasmy ready to go. But yeah, I think Jasmy is gonna do well, especially now that we have broken the 50 daily moving average. I'm looking forward to a huge run in Jasmy. Let's quickly take a sweep right across the market here. Storage, wow, storage is pumping really big today. Oh, that's really nice, man. That's really nice. Take a look at this. We just abused the 50 daily moving average here, and take a look at what was happening, and it's coming out of like our massive support level. I don't know whom I was talking to about this, or maybe I was just drawing this on my own. We were seeing massive strength here. This is really cool, man. Storage is really one that I think is going to do well, along with Sia Coin, along with Filecoin, along with Akash Network and stuff like that, even ICP itself, because they are kind of like the same niche, right? These things are going to do just fine. Let's see if anybody has got any question that they want to ask before we go off stream, because as I said already, I need to come up with a Jasmy update as soon as possible. But I think here I'll show you one that I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at this here game ticker symbol, game with an E, like a double E, sorry. This one is also doing really well. We're also seeing that it's respecting its 50 daily moving average, and we'll be looking for a strong push from there. I'm already in a trade here with this one, so yeah, very much optimistic right there. What else am I looking into? I'm looking into, yeah, RV. This one has shown massive strength time and again, but it hasn't moved just yet, right? I'll be looking to see what happens when we get to something like a $282 there. I'm very much optimistic on this one. It can reach $1,000 this bull cycle. RV can do it. RV can do it. What else can I talk about before I go off stream here? Cardano, not really, nothing interesting happening right there. And what else can we, I mean, total, yeah, let's quickly take a look at the total market cap. And we're seeing some great things happening right there. Which one is this one? This is excluding BTC. No, we want to include BTC. We want to include BTC because oh, look at the 50. Ah, man, this is really nice. This is the total 3, right? So this is basically the market cap of altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. And take a look at this nice bounce out of the 50 weekly moving average. Now, this is really bullish, man. And it's also looking like we are just, wow, we are on the verge of breaking this downtrend here. Man, are great things about to happen in this market? I gotta wake up. I gotta wake up. Let's see here. We got rejected at the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level, but it's looking like we are breaking this downward sloping resistance here. And also the good thing about that is that you can even look at this in the lens of saying that, look, this is a bullish flag from the rest of the market. Man, I don't know if I'm getting overly bullish right at this point, but take a look at this. This is a bull flag that you can see here, and usually you want to measure the technical price target. I mean, taking a look at where it usually breaks out, right? Wow. The market cap of altcoins, excluding Ethereum and BTC, will be hitting right around something like 1.8 trillion. Is this realistic? Let's quickly go ahead and find out. They're using our Fibonacci retracement levels because they usually are very good at predicting the future. I mean, take a look at this. This is exactly, or maybe not exactly, but really close to the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level. These things happen all the time. I would not be doubting this price target at all. I will not be doubting this price target at all. Let's quickly just go ahead and try to see in terms of, I mean, that is something like a 170%. Well, obviously 170% may not sound great for a lot of people because they just think that their altcoin is also going to go 170%. No, what actually happens is that one coin will go, it will do maybe a 10x, it will retrace, people take money or profits out of that and they put it in another one will go 10x. So the market can actually still maintain the same market cap and you'll still be seeing 10x's left, right and center from, you know, different altcoins, just because there is a lot of rotation that will be going on right there. So this is great. I like this. I think we're going to be talking more about this as we head further into the bull cycle, which I'm really optimistic is going to be happening, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being overly bullish right at this point, just because we heard actually a very strong message from Donald Trump. It was really strong. I don't think any political candidate is going to outperform what he just did, right? That was really great messaging. But let's see here, Polkadot Mana. Let's quickly take a look at that. Can Jasmy reach $5? I don't think Jasmy can reach $5. Was that Ken? I don't think Jasmy can reach $5. I think Jasmy at best can reach something like $1.20. I think a market cap of something like $5 is almost impossible. If I may do the calculation right here, we are saying $5 multiplied by there are 50 billion Jasmy tokens, right? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is what? This is 5 billion, right? We need to add another one. So this is 50 billion. I mean, this is like 250 what? I don't know, 250 million. No, I don't know, 250 million. I couldn't read this number, it's too big, right? But I think Jasmy cannot do something like this. It's almost impossible right at this point. By the way, if you think that what I'm saying is a little bit crazy, but I should have actually done this because there is a site which I usually track the market caps or something like that, but for one reason or the other I always need a VPN to access it. So right now, if begin try to turn on my VPN, I will be off stream, and that will not be too good, right? But I will address that question of will Jasmy be able to reach something like $5? I don't think it's possible. I think the best case scenario that we have is that Ethereum chart that we were comparing Jasmy to, saying that, look, we can have a maximum of like an extension to something like the 3.618 Fibonacci extension level. That will be $1.20, right? At best. 54 cents. I can blindly trust that, right? If I was somebody who was listening to somebody speaking, right? 54 cents is something that is very much possible. $5, it's a little bit too crazy, right? It's a little bit too crazy. Let's see here, Polkadot. Oh, all right, Polkadot. We'll take a look at Polkadot, and then we'll also take a look at what was that? Aerodrome Finance, right? I love Aerodrome Finance. One of the guys here in the chat actually was showing me Aerodrome Finance. Let's see. All right, so as you can see here with Polkadot, I was already doing some kind of analysis here. I wasn't expecting it to break below, what was this, $6.20, but it's below that level right at this point. We got massively supported here. It's looking relatively weak compared to the rest of the market. I will say that. I think it's very much obvious here. I think we don't need this line here. So should we have a general bounce in the market with Polkadot, I will be looking to see prices as something like $16, right? So from where the price is sitting here, let's say I'm buying Polkadot, where exactly will I be targeting here? So about $5.70. We are looking at, yeah, $16. That will be something like a 180%. I don't know what's happening with Polkadot. It really has been quiet. It really has been so quiet. I don't know if the community is still there. You know, we have some things which are still not doing really well, like ICP, for example, is not really doing well in terms of the price, but the community is vibrant. And with such a community, you know for sure that one way or the other, it's just one gold candle that is going to be appearing on the chart. Everybody loses their mind, and it's back again, right? That was something that actually happened with Solana. So when Polkadot is having this kind of like struggles and it's not having like a very strong community behind it, it's kind of worrying, to be honest with you. But we will see what eventually happens with it, right? So also here, there is some kind of a downward stopping, you know, resistance here. Let's see if we can break above this level. Let me also try to go ahead and draw this. So maybe when we have a live stream in the future, if you are here, you can come back and ask me why. So I'm thinking that from where the price is sitting, right, should we have a breakup of this thing, maybe we still be expecting some kind of a back test to right around $5.38 one more time, and then we have a huge. I think we are done with Polkadot here. Let's move on to the next one. Aerodrome Finance. I will take a look at Aerodrome Finance, and then I'll also take a look at Mana. But here, let's go with Aerodrome Finance. I've got some preliminary price targets that I was looking at. In my last update, I was saying that, look here. Okay, let's go to the daily time frame. So I don't know if you have been watching my videos on Aerodrome Finance. When we were down here at 40 cents, I said, look, we can expect a V-shaped recovery right there. But it was also very much obvious that once we were getting to something like $1.04, $1.09, that we were expecting some kind of a rejection. So as you can see, I had already drawn these ones here, saying that it's going to be a little bit wishy-washy here because there is massive support. Should I delete this one? No, I don't want to delete it because, you know, I want to refer to it later on and just have a general idea and not lose my mind on what we are doing. So there is massive support here / resistance. Obviously, you can see interactions here. You can see interactions, and should I be quoting the number? That's between something like, you know, 86 to 98 cents. They're about 92 cents actually. So 86 or 92 cents. There is a massive resistance / support right there. So I expect the price to just go wishy-washy up and down before we have a huge breakout here. Now, you may be asking me where I would be expecting this thing to be headed, right? And as I always do, I keep things very much simple. $3.60 is a very important price target, but then I still expect price as high as something like $8.70. You know, maybe not even at the top of this bull cycle, because I know that there is a very strong community behind this project. And look, guys, don't get it twisted, right? In a bull cycle, the things that have got massive communities will always do well. Take a look at Jasmy, take a look at Cardano, take a look at VeChain, take a look at like Polkadot. Even the last cycle had a massive community behind it. These things are going to do well. Look at Solana right now. It has a very vibrant community. Aerodrome is no different to those things. Actually, the advantage with Aerodrome Finance is actually has got a relatively less a smaller market cap, so it means that it's going to do much better than the other things that have got bigger market cap. So don't get it twisted. There is a massive community behind this thing. Obviously, it has, crashed at some point 84%. What Altcoin hasn't crashed 84% at some point? Don't get it twisted. I think Aerodrome Finance would do fantastic. It would do really well. I will also take a look at Verasity. It actually has been long since I talked about Verasity. The reason is that it actually has been like a stable coin. So I will talk about it today. But let's go and take a look at Mana. So let's quickly take a look at Mana. I think it's Decentraland, right? Let's quickly take a look at Mana and see where we are. Mana USDT. Okay, did I get it? Well, right. Okay, I think we're good. So do I have any preliminary analysis that I did on Mana? Let's see here. Okay, I think the last time I looked at it, I was looking for it to break this one, but it failed the back test. So this is no longer relevant. This is no longer relevant. So let's get rid of this one here. But oh wow, you know what? I think I need to find something more here with Mana. Can you please confirm? Let me see who actually asked about Mana. Sean CC, brother, can you just confirm to me if Mana has got its like all of its tokens in circulation right at this point? Because if it doesn't have if it has all of its coins in circulation right at this point, there is nothing that is stopping a recovery from this one here. I'll show you why I'm saying something like that right at this point. Let me just go ahead and show you the kind of resistance and support levels that we have. This is a clear support level here, and this is also a very clear resistance. So this is one of the easiest trades that you can take in the market, right? Obviously, if you are on spot, because it's very much clear that the price is going down like this, crashing 68%. But also, if you take a look at from the very bottom here, looking up, you're looking at something like a 160 to 170% pump. Now, the next thing that you would have to do, obviously, is to take a look at the underlying indicators here, and on a daily time frame, you can obviously see that there is no conclusion that you can make. Yeah, go to a higher time frame here, for example, maybe the 1 weekly time frame, and now you can see that there is good news appearing on the chart. Take a look at this MACD here. The price has been crashing to the downside like this, right? But you can see that the bears have actually been losing momentum, right? So you can expect a bullish cross here, but sometimes you don't have to wait for this bullish cross. You can already see that you're super close to support levels, and you want to maximize your gains, right? So yeah, we also see here with the RSI that once the yellow line is crossed here by the blue line, it's always been a fantastic idea. So Decentraland, should it drop a little bit here, probably I'll be looking to get in as well. I think it's looking like it's a fantastic chat. So Sean says he believes that all the coins are in circulation. If all the coins are in circulation, I think there is there is little resistance to the idea that we could have something like this here. Backtest the top of the range here. That will be somewhere around 80 cents. 80 cents. We are sitting right around 35 cents right there. I think that will be a very good ride, honestly. It's something that is very much possible. In the Patreon, I was actually talking about two trades like these ones. We took a trade on, what was that one actually? How can I forget that? That was Band Protocol. Yeah, Band Protocol, because I was monitoring Band Protocol, and I was saying that, look, with Band Protocol, all the coins were now in circulation. So here, right at the very bottom, I was saying that, look guys, there is something that you can actually profit from. And right at this point, if anybody took that trade, I think they are up maybe 54%, because I was saying that buying at $1 is something that is great. 98 cents to $1 would be something that is great. So that was the logic behind this trade as well. You can already see that it's almost the same range, but on top of that, there is also this falling wedge that you can take notice, and you can also just trade it as well. But before you get there, you can already see that there is massive resistance by the $3, right? So probably you need to take profits at $3 as well. Okay, let's quickly take a look at Verasity, right? So one of my all-time favorites, just that it's not doing well right at this point. And by the way, I was saying community, this and that. Look, Verasity is also one coin that has got a vibrant community behind it. It's unfortunate that the community didn't understand the new tokenomics which were being announced by the Verasity team right there, of a dual token economy. But I think that was actually one of the most bullish things that you could ever thought on Verasity, because it means that there are only going to be 10 billion Verasity tokens in circulation. But actually, there were I mean, the coins are also deflationary because there is a lot of bending mechanisms that happen. But the community didn't understand what was happening here, and you saw the price dumping like very big here. That was something like an 80% dump. I was actually making Verasity updates regularly, but after this here, I saw that the community didn't understand what happened. They thought they are being bug pulled and stuff like that. But once everybody understands that there are actually less than 10 billion tokens, Verasity tokens in circulation, I think everybody will be happy and everybody will pump back into the market. It's an amazing project. It's also unique. So what it means is that it doesn't compete with other projects in terms of like the market cap and stuff like that. Eventually, I think it's just gonna do well, right? So what will be my price target for this one here? Maybe I should actually come up with an update because this really has been long, right? So I was saying that here I'll be targeting the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level here for Verasity, and that's something like 14 cents. But I remember we were also taking a look at it and we were saying that it's very much possible that we could see something like a 36 cents for Verasity. So this is the update on Verasity. We are on support levels right now, right at this point. Ideally, I will say this though, you would still expect the price to drop to something like 0.002, right? This is the lowest support that it can get to. It's looking unlikely, to be honest with you, but I mean, from a theoretical standpoint, you would still be expecting like for Verasity to take out this low here and visit something like 0.002. Will that happen? I'm not really sure about that right at all, but I'm just saying that ideally speaking, you want to wait for something like 0.002. Will I actually be doing something like that? Definitely no, because there is no guarantee. If we have a bull cycle tomorrow or the next week, I mean, will I just be waiting and say, oh yeah, I'm waiting for Verasity to drop to something like 0.002? No. I mean, it sounds like a losing strategy, right? But I'm saying this so that at least maybe if you're going to be entering Verasity, you know that definitely you can still have like losses. And I was measuring this like some other day and I was saying that look, that would actually be another 30% drop, right? Very, very hard to swallow, I know, but things like this happen. This is why this is crypto, right? But let's see what eventually happens here with Verasity. I'm super bullish on it. I'm just not really sure that it has bottomed out right at this point here. I hope I answered that pretty well. Let's quickly take a look at let me see actually what people are suggesting in here, right? So David Middleton says beautiful. Okay, thank you. Can you check I should check out what. All right, I actually lost the device that I was checking the comments on, so I won't be able to see any more comments right at this point. And I will say this because of that, I must, close the live stream and continue with the Jasmy video that I was making. So I hope I will see you very soon. Maybe we can have another live stream on Wednesday when the Fed makes a decision, right? There's an FOMC meeting right on Wednesday, and we'll see what eventually happens. Or maybe even before that, I'll come and show you another live stream. But thank you very much for joining. And what a message from Donald Trump. That was actually something that was very, very much strong. I really appreciated it. It was genius of him to come and say like exactly the right things to say. He's not usually that good, I will say, right? But this one, he was fantastic. Hats off to him. And then we'll see you on the very next one. Take really, really good care of yourself.